You are in this area that is cutting edge. You quickly mentioned PRP and exosomes, but I'd love to give you some time to explain some of the things that you're doing beyond Chinese medicine to really, once you've got the system in balance and healthy and able to take in that energy and use that energy for regeneration, then you can put on these new toys, right? And that's what I call them, but to really see incredible results in people's physiques and their face, like you said, their hair. So I wanted to give you a moment to talk a little bit about the exosomes, PRP, and some of the other therapies that you're using.
Yeah, platelet-rich plasma and this field of stem cells and exosomes is really incredible and life-changing. And I can't tell you, I guess over the last 7 years, the amount of men that I've helped with erectile dysfunction, it's like I talk about a passion work that I do because men are silently suffering, literally like 30% of 30-year-olds, 50% of 50-year-old men. And for all the reasons that we've discussed, right? The mental, emotional, the level of toxicity in the world, and also pornography is a huge issue with erectile dysfunction. So we want to help men get to the root cause. So we want to look at their hormones, like look at food sensitivities. I want to hear the story about what's going on in their relationship. Was there sexual abuse? But platelet-rich plasma is a substance that's in our own blood, right? So we take about 50 cc's of your blood, we spin it in an FDA-approved centrifuge, and then we derive about 10 cc's of your platelet-rich plasma, which is rich in 7 primary growth factors. And when that's injected into a penis, into a vagina, into a knee, into a face, into the scalp, into breast tissue, sometimes in the stomach area, into scar tissue, incredible what happens because it increases your body's production of collagen, elastin. And the best way to visualize how this is working is when we think about, like when we skin our knee and we see all that yellow gooey material, right? That's our platelets in action. And it's amazing when we have the worst scrape ever and you're like, look at this brilliant biology, like how our bodies heal. It's amazing. But when you take that same substance and you're actually putting it in the body, it's also increasing your body's own ability to produce stem cells. So it helps with inflammation. It helps to regrow new nerves and blood vessels. It helps to literally the tissue, like in a vagina, even in men's penises, they age too with gravity and underuse, overuse, whatever. It helps to your tissue in those areas to literally look 10 years younger. And where it's most evident are in my women with lichen sclerosis. And men have it too, which is an autoimmune condition that attacks this very sensitive area of the body. And it can literally, it's a form of a fungus that kind of eats away at the clitoral area. It's like a white, sometimes it's very ooey. Have you ever heard of lichen sclerosis?
I have not. I'm like,
Oh,
what is
yeah.
this?
It's sad. I mean, really, Western medicine has tried to put you on steroids, a steroid cream, but it's not just injecting PRP. Very often there's a story. We in Chinese medicine, we always look at the emotional body. And then we look at fabrics that people are allergic to eating too much sugar. I mean, there's something almost always that you're ingesting that's affecting the health of that very, very sensitive tissue in the vaginal area and the vaginal tissue. But I mean, sports medicine is my big thing and what I studied in college. But I love to help regenerate new, healthy knees. Like people are like, oh my God, my doctor says that I need a knee replacement in 3 years. I'm like, well, you still have some tissue to work with. Let's amplify what's already there. I want to add that because I'm a big ozone girl, I mean, for 20 years, some of the most amazing, life-changing shifts have happened in people, especially in terms of hips, shoulders, neck, arthritis in hands, the pelvic floor. I've been able to help with PRP and ozone, or just doing what's called Prolozone, where I'm injecting a proliferative agent first, which has, let's say, B12, a little bit of procaine, dextrose is pretty incredible, which is a sugar, and this Regenerative mixture that has proteins and peptides in it that when added to a specific area in the body, then with ozone, it's unbelievable because within that time of actually injecting this into your body, first of all, we're using your own biology, but then we're adding ozone. And when you inject ozone into the body, the way it acts is it breaks down into oxygen. I mean, it's incredible how you're just flooding the body, that area, with healthy new life. And you're also sending a message to the brain because you're injecting a local area to send all the healing agents to the area. So when you can look under ultrasound, you can see like a ligament has been severed a little bit. Like there could be a complete separation. But in most cases, where I have the success is when people have little micro tears, small tears that we're actually able to help the body regenerate new healthy tendons and ligaments. And therefore, you're getting the bones are getting the support they need. So you can actually help with bone growth with ozone in medicine and adding PEMF, pulse electromagnetic field technology. So I tend to stack a lot of the yumminess of life of these regenerative therapies. And you asked about exosomes. Actually, we have exosomes in our body, right? I mean, it's not like we have to get it at an exogenous source. So that's kind of my forte. That's the way I like to work, is helping your accessing your own body's biology. But sometimes it's in a 75-year-old person, it's really great to work with their own stem cells. I don't actually do that in my clinic, but there's mesenchymal stem cells, which have exosomes in them. You can get them from a cord bank. They're FDA approved. They are typically from a mother after giving birth, like within 15 minutes, they get that placenta, they take it to the lab, they go through hundreds of tests, strip it of its DNA, but there's still a lot of there's a lot of vitality, there's life force that when you put that into an aging body, into an aging joint, it helps to reduce the inflammation, very often the scar tissue, again, helping to bring new life to these areas of the body. It's very exciting.
Oh my goodness. You are a total rock star. You have so many tricks up your sleeve. And like you said, if you're not doing it in your clinic, then you find other places that are doing it, because we all need to
Exactly.
work together.
We
Robyn,
do.
do you do men's retreats or couples retreats yet? Or is
So
that something?
that's next.
Okay.
I've really loved the art of liberation retreats that I do because that word liberation is like a wow word, and we're never really separate from being liberated all the time. But that's where a lot of the excavation that has to be done in our thinking, our beliefs, those conditioned patterns that we don't even realize are running our lives. And going out in nature is often the solution, right, to a lot of our issues in our tissues, so to speak. But we do the excavation work. And what's really cool is that women get to come and they receive these regenerative therapies. And very often I have them do a 5-day fast mimicking diet. So they're already producing stem cells in their body. They've already gone through the autophagy, which is that detox that's very necessary. So it's very often a life-changing experience for the women that come. And it's really fun to have them in a center that really represents what's possible, right? And then to create this new blueprint that you leave with of these 2 or 3 or 4 things that you're committed to saying, yes, I'm going to live a regenerative lifestyle. And it's possible for every single person, no matter what's going on, to say yes to this new beginning, this fresh start, what that true word regeneration really means. And when we're regenerating, we're living the liberated life.
And
Yeah.
you are the poster child. Like, it's so wonderful
Woo, thank
because anyone
you.
listening or watching this, you can go out to Santa Fe, you can visit Robyn's clinic, you can work with her, you can go to one of her retreats, you can become a patient. Robyn, you do a lot of things online.